look in the eyes of my brother without shedding a tear for my brother.
Just in case him tried to mute me. Yo. The zone be trying to mute motherfuckers, man.
Yeah.
Yo, welcome back.
That's the yo that's heard around the world.
I just can't wait till we do our first live show because we've fully gotten this down to a science and we're not recording on Zoom anymore. And we're gonna go out somewhere and we're gonna go out. The audience gonna be rah-and like a dungeon dragon. And then we're gonna hit them with the and then put the mic out and 40,000 people in the stadium. And then yeah.
I need that bull song playing in the background.
We ain't paying them no royalties. We need to vanilla ice that, like add an extra beat so we ain't gotta get sued.
Might just be on
but yeah, welcome back to the InforMILLy podcast. We are four brothers from the middle of the neighborhood of Gary, Indiana, that pride ourselves in both all else when we have these conversations to be forthright, vulnerable, and most of all honest. My name is Josh. I'm the primary cat on the mic, but I'm always not alone in this. We got A-Dub, A.A. Ron.
Yo, hello world. Thanks for listening.
Yeah, the monk to keep the funk in your skunk. Yeah. And then we got Marco.
What's up, world? I love y'all. I'm the sidekick in the corner.
Is he? You're very prevalent.
You said I don't do this alone, so I immediately thought like the sidekicks is here.
No, I just talked about
I didn't mean that in any derogatory way.
Like, don't be demeaning yourself on this here podcast, man. We equal. 25, another 25. And last but not least, we got Brother Johnson. AJ, where you at, sir?
I am here.
Where you at?
If you watching right now, AJ got he's strong in his Bears energy right now. Not too large, hairy gay men, but Chicago Bears. And yeah, I don't know why I'm doing this today. Yeah. So, fellas, as we pride ourselves in that forthright, vulnerable, and honesty, y'all got anything y'all want to report? Anything happening in your lives? Or we just kicking into the subjects? All right, we kicking into the subject. So,
I just want to report that, man. I wasn't here when Elias was here, unfortunately, and it was a really good episode. Listened to it, enjoyed it, and I'm gonna really try to keep this throat clearing to a minimum, just for Adam's sake, man. It's like as soon as we hit record and Josh goes, "Yo," it's like the fucking phlegm just rises up. I'm like, damn, man. Like activates all the phlegm in my body. Like, damn it.
You're good, man. But you know what though? I actually do have something to say. So my wife Kirsten, she obviously listened to but she did listen to the last episode, and she said,
which was the last episode,
yeah,
technically, yeah.
She said, "This is a shout out to Elias." She said he was great, and he fit right in to the point where he could be a member if the universe, chose. So, shout out to him.
Shout out to him. Yo, Elias, honorary. Got the stamp. And beyond that, like, just because he's just such a good dude and a hilarious cat, when he's in his outgoing energy, you see he was leading some of them he led that whole Jesus thing.
Yeah.
No one started
what we were
that.
saying. Yeah.
Man.
So yeah, but shout out to Elias and all the people out there that are consistent folks. But especially shout out to him because he's one of our patrons, one of our not patrons because we're not on Patreon, but he's one of our subscribers on Anchor. And you can also do that. You can hop on Anchor and become a subscriber and support the podcast. But fellas, AJ asked a brilliant question in chat. AJ, give it to us, man.
Okay, let me go off.
Pause. No, I'm
Whatever.
joking. Give it to us, man.
Okay,
Hit it.
here it is. Bear with me here.
Oh, you're good.
Okay, have you ever thought about when does social media end? Are people always going to have an online presence? Can you imagine having a 42-year-old Instagram account? Laugh out loud. We obviously know there are senior citizens on social media, so it is not fathomable. It's not fathomable that some people are going to have decades old account. Hell, I have 14-year-old memories that pop up on Facebook. When are we supposed to get off? Is it designed for us to stay on forever?
Brilliant questions, man. And it's funny just
Yeah.
because my brain goes, social media is constantly evolving. You know, shit is not the beginnings of social media was what? MySpace, Black Planet.
Yeah, I was gonna say Black Planet was before MySpace. Now I'm not saying it's the first, but I remember being on the Black Planet. I mean, not really being on Black Planet, but I guess somewhat being on Black Planet back in like 2000 and I don't know, 4.
I was
3?
like, I was about to say 3. Yeah.
I don't even think we were in high school yet.
No, we were in 2003.
Freshmen.
Yeah. That's freshman year.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So I mean, yeah. I'm sorry. You go ahead.
No. I thought that your whole thought.
No, that's it. Just that.
Okay.
Black Planet was first.
I was sitting here thinking like, oh, what were those ones that like failed? There was one that like used the chirp technology from back in the day that you could just like send people messages over it. It was Tag. I don't know if you remember that one.
Yeah, I remember Tag.
Oh my
I didn't know you could
gosh.
do that, but I remember Tag though.
Damn.
Yeah, like
I actually liked Tag though. Just it was like I remember it being like symbol. I mean, essentially emojis at this point, and you could send. I was trying to figure out what was the format like. It was
essentially like you could just send people like quick voice messages.
Okay.
Like a walkie-talkie situation.
And you like give awards and stuff like that.
I remember that. Yeah.
Damn.
I don't remember the voice message part, but I typically only use like the messenger aspect of it. And I remember like Mark was saying, like you could give people certain, I guess you could call them awards, and like each symbol was like a thing. I remember like there was a fire. I remember there being essentially a fire emoji. That's what it was. That's the only one I remember. But
maybe I'm tripping. Maybe I'm thinking about something else when I was thinking about that walkie-talkie thing. Because I remember it being similar to like, Nokia and the chirp.
Mm-hmm.
I remember it being something
Boost
like
Mobile.
that. Boost Mobile, yeah.
I remember that song, Kanye and
Kanye, The Game, and
Nas. I think Nas. It was Nas, KRS-One, and Kanye, right?
There was another.
I thought it was The Game.
The Game was
Kanye and Ludacris.
It was like
wasn't one.
It was
there might have been more than one.
But it was like a white rapper. I can't remember who it was.
You know what? I'm thinking of two different songs. I'm thinking of Where You At, which was the Boost Mobile thing, but I'm also thinking of Classic.
Yes.
Classic. Yeah, okay.
Which was I don't think was Kanye in that?
No, I don't think so.
That was KRS-One.
No,
Kanye was in that.
He was?
Yeah.
Okay.
I deserve to be a little bit snobbish. I did a little bit of college.
Premier, I think DJ Premier.
I got you.
Yeah.
So I'm mixing up two different commercials, but
no worries.
Yeah.
Because I was like, I'm sure it was The Game, Ludacris, and I thought Kanye that did the Where You At. Where You At? The whole city behind.
Yeah, I love that commercial. Was dope, man. Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, the early days of social media, like getting your top 8 in MySpace and putting your intro song on there. Eventually, MySpace just became a music site, like right, like it wasn't about socializing at all.
Yeah, pretty much.
Well, people turned. I feel like people I know I utilized that the music feature more than anything on MySpace because they would like highlight like up and coming artists and it was just like where you would find new artists. or new music at the time.
Okay. But yeah, I remember when everybody pivoted to Facebook, like MySpace kind of abandoned the social part of social media. It seems like. But to get back to the question at hand, do I think it'll end? Maybe. I as much as I am somewhat against it right now, I think with the what is that, the metaverse and all of that kind of stuff, I think it's just going to continue to evolve. I think social media as we know it is going to change. And yeah, will Instagram exist in 20 years? Maybe not. Maybe it won't be a thing of, you posting pictures, but you could just be like, yo, I'm in Antigua. Come look at what I'm doing right now. And you get to tune in to like someone's life in real time.
Like Twitch? Essentially.
Like Twitch or what's that? Discord? Is that what Discord is? I can't remember.
For Discord, I think it's like you're getting different groups, right? Like,
oh, okay. I couldn't remember if Discord is a live streaming thing.
It could be.
Well,
I think you can do live streaming on there.
Gotcha. Yeah. But I think it's a whole thing of like, I think live streaming is going to become more and more intrusive, if you will. That it won't even be a thing. At some point, it may not be a thing that you can like look at it from the phone's point of view, but ain't too long before let's get into some conspiracy shit. Black Mirror, that chip get in, and you just looking at people looking at shit through people's eyes as opposed to looking at through their experience of them in it, and it's gonna be first person shooters as social media. I wouldn't be surprised. I don't know. I don't think it's gonna die. I think it's gonna continue to evolve.
Yeah.
I think
you go ahead.
Go ahead.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Who's talking? No, just
supercut.
I'm not gonna get my full answer yet. Just to respond to Josh. I agree essentially, but I wish I'm sure somebody might have done this, but I wish that I was like taking screenshots of like just social media as time goes on, just so you can compare like how stuff differs. Because like I guarantee you, if you went and looked at like the Facebook format from like 2010, it would be like almost like you couldn't even recognize it because it changes all the time. It's just so it's so small of a change that sometimes it's so small of a change that you don't even really notice it until like 3 changes later. Like, oh yeah, that is different. Like I remember when Facebook added the reactions other than like that was a big.
That was a big thing, yeah.
Yeah, that's a big deal. Or like when Instagram, like when you could start doing like the 15-second videos, like that was because people forget.
It was a big deal for Vine
videos.
Only doing 6 seconds.
Yeah,
which is such an awkward amount of time.
It is. Yeah. That's it. Yeah.
I guess I was just commenting too, but I guess I'll give my final answer right here and now. I agree with Josh too, man. But I feel like, especially in regards to like specifically in regards to evolving, like as long as there are celebrities or people too who are influencers in business, I don't see it going anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
As long as there are people who you strive to be like.
that motion sensors in the room.
Yeah. Yo, Adam, where you at? But yeah, as long as there are people whose lifestyle and lives we still want or desire, people we desire to be like, as long as that is still a thing, then I don't see it going anywhere. And big business can make money off of it. It's folks who are making really good livings. Yeah, it's folks who are making really good livings just from living their lives. And, yeah, I don't see it going anywhere, man. I think it's going to evolve, and how, I guess it's TBD.
Right.
I mean, the whole metaverse thing is an interesting concept, man, which I still, by the way, I don't fully understand it. I don't know that I haven't really like researched it or like what their ideas of it are, but and as people talk about it, it doesn't become clear to me. When I listen to people, I see,
my understanding of it is still really limited because what I've seen, niggas just look like Wii characters, and I'm like, this seems way too early for anyone to be excited about it.
Like what's that movie? Ready Player One. I mean, not that everyone looks like Wii characters, but I really love that story where it's like because like people had this like online avatar. I mean, I don't know who's seen it, who hasn't, but
I have it. Yeah, it's good.
I just like that people had these online avatars essentially, but they were like living the life of the avatar though. So it's not like for example, you have like whatever your username on PlayStation Network or whatever the Xbox equivalent is, like you're that where you're playing, but it's not, you're not actually whatever your username is. Like, I don't know. I really like the way they had
me too. I think the setup and the visuals were dope. Yeah.
Oh yeah. It was great.
Now, for a quick anime recommendation, just in case, for those of you who really like Ready Player One, there's a couple. If I'm not saying this incorrectly, any kind of anime where someone gets projected into a new world, it's called an isekai, and they usually have like absurd names. But a popular one is called Sword Art Online. Another one is it wrong to pick up girls in a dungeon? And I know
I'm not gonna not laugh.
No, it's like I said, they have ridiculous names. And the other one is what is it called? The Rising of the Shield Hero. So if you ever like, oh, let me try this out because I liked Ready Player One. All three of them are to some degree like kind of video game based, and a great a Korean manga that I just finished, Solo Leveling. Excellent fucking read. That I would suggest those to any person that's like, I'm not really into anime, but I liked Ready Player One a lot. Let me try this out. It may be your bridge into it.
Hey, I got a quick question. Do they come, like when you're reading them, are they in like a comic book form essentially, or similar, or what?
It depends on the platform you read it on. So like a Solo Leveling, it was a webtoon. So most Korean manga or manhwa that I have read come through webtoons, and so that's all in color. They read left to right, stuff like that. But most of the Japanese manga I'm reading online or whatnot. This is me admitting that I steal shit. So don't incriminate me. But they you read right to left, and they're mainly in black and white. But they pretty much look like comics. It's not. It's they're paneled and whatnot. But yeah.
I guess I should have asked a better question. Do they have it in comic, like the actual paperback comic book form? Do they actually create them that way too? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Gotcha. Me reading them online is because I'm stealing it.
Word. I should not have pried too much. I should not have pried.
Me incriminating myself.
Yeah.
The webtoons is free. The webtoons are free, but the Japanese shit, yeah. I'm not paying for that.
Thank you. It'll be all right.
You go to the bookstore, is that stealing? If you just sitting there reading it all?
in the aisle.
Oh, I used to do that. I used to live in the Barnes and Noble to go read manga. Yeah.
Yeah, I see people doing it.
People in there reading real books, and I'm just sitting in the corner with pictures.
Yo, speaking of that, can you go to like a Toys? I don't know if Toys R Us is still a thing. Can you go to like a Walmart or something and like still preview a game before you buy it in like the electronics section?
I don't think since COVID. I don't think it was happening prior to COVID, but definitely not post.
I missed that, man. I
used to do that. I remember I used to go to Walmart and play that game Skate for PlayStation.
Yes.
Like back in like 2008, just go to Walmart just to play the game. Let's buy this.
We used to do that all the time. Yeah. We just go to Walmart to find out what game they had on, or go to the mall just to go to what was GameStop before GameStop?
Was it Funkoland?
No.
Yeah, I do remember that.
I remember Funkoland, but was it Funkoland? I remember some other name. It was the one. You know what an as seen for TV store is in the mall? It was across from that. like on the top floor, like by where the van store is now. I haven't been there, so I don't know if any of these things are still there.
I haven't been in a while either. Actually,
shout out to South Lake, Westfield. Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
But nah, I cannot remember what the fuck it used to be called. I'm gonna call Jamal and find out. But yeah, they used to have those preview games. They would have like 3 systems next to each other, and so you just play all of them to see what they had
for hours,
Yeah.
dude. For hours.
for hours.
Like that was the only time I enjoyed going grocery shopping with my aunt. It's like, yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and be on this section. I'm gonna go ahead and handle my business over here. You know, just take as long as you need. Take as long as you need. Yeah.
You usually have like a little kid behind you, like trying to get on.
Like, wait your turn, dog. You got more time on this planet than me, man. Wait your turn. You got a couple more years. Wait your turn, bro.
You got more than quick.
Taking a turn. I'm playing again.
Like, best out 3, man. Come on, leave me alone.
Yeah.
Oh man. How do we get?
I'll go ahead and respond to them.
Yeah, go ahead, Marco.
So while I do agree specifically about like Facebook and the ones that's in charge at this point, I agree with y'all overall sentiment, but I don't think Facebook will be around that much into the future. Now, like y'all said, it could be something else. I feel like they want to take their power away, but I don't know if that's gonna be possible. And when I say they, it's like I feel like the government is, well, I don't feel like it's a fact. Like they've been into Facebook's business and kind of been calling their bluff on how they do things, and there's been whistleblowers coming out that's speaking against Facebook. But at this point, like right now, I don't think they're close to shutting them down. Like it's too big of a thing, and but as far as social media as a whole, I don't think we're getting rid of it anytime soon. So I guess it's going to be a transition into the metaverse, like we know they're gearing up to do. But I don't really, for some reason, I don't. Maybe it's just my misunderstanding of the metaverse, but I don't think it's like I think it's beyond social media. It's like a whole other thing. So it's like
pretty much VR.
Right. So I don't know if we can actually, I guess we can consider it VR social media, but I think it's going to go much beyond how we interact in Facebook, obviously. But I don't think Facebook and Instagram and that stuff going to be around when we get old.
But I guess the thing is it not going to be around, or is it just going to be a different name? Because Facebook, aka Meta, as they're referred to now, own all of it.
Yeah, and I don't.
They're the leaders of.
I just think Facebook will become. So you remember we all got on Facebook, then the parents, and then everybody got on Facebook. I think it's just going to become one of those things where it's always going to be a lot of people on it, but I don't think it'll be like it is or it has been within the last 10 years,
I agree with you that it's phasing out. I'm just saying, like, as what happens inside of capitalist society, whatever gets popular, if the big heads can't buy it, they just steal it. And so, because what is it? Facebook has all the same technology as Instagram, even though they own Instagram. Because they couldn't buy Snapchat, I don't think they just put all the Snapchat technology onto Instagram and then onto Facebook. And then as soon as they couldn't get TikTok from China, they were like, all right, let's make reels, as if it's not the same fucking thing. And so it's like,
I feel you. I think it'll be a resurgence of like, because I just feel like whenever there's an extreme the one way, like this virtual reality world is becoming more prominent, and people want to live in virtual reality, more and more. It's gonna be a push. I bet you it'll be a platform where it's like we're the ones who don't want to do that. We're the ones who want to be have the old school way, and everything that we post is authentic. Because more and more like deep fake is possible, which now like the technology is ridiculous right now. Like I can literally put on a filter and people wouldn't know that I'm not Josh or something,
Yeah.
Like I can be in that virtual reality world. And at this point I can use your speech. Like I don't have the technology. I just know it's there. So it's like I know they're gonna implement all of that stuff into it. So it's like I think it's gonna get very, very hard to discern real from fake, and people gonna want to escape that. That go.
I'm gonna try to lead the resistance. I'm gonna be a part of the resistance, man.
It's definitely gonna be that. Already.
To speak on the deepfake thing in Russia, and I don't know if y'all heard about it, but like maybe a few weeks ago, there was a video that came out. It was a fake video, but the video of the Ukrainian president speaking, and I wish I remember what he was saying, but it was something along the lines of telling the Ukrainian people to what's the word I'm looking for? Yeah, to surrender. But it was a deep fake. So someone that put his face on something and it went out, and a lot of people, older people who can't tell that. Because for me, I saw it and it looked obvious. It looked like it was obviously fake to me. But maybe someone that's 79, they might see it and be like, "Oh, this is real." And some people were like confused, like, "What the heck's going on?" So, yeah, I mean, the deepfake thing. I'm surprised that it hasn't been used for more bad. Maybe it has. I just don't know about it. But it could be dangerous. Because I've seen some deepfakes that are actually really good.
Bro, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Doc.
I just think that deepfake technology is way more advanced than because we have like a regular version of it, But I can only imagine like the type of technology that they have, and like Adam said, once people see how it can be dangerous, then I think they're gonna definitely start regulating it more. And I wouldn't be surprised if it's something that we couldn't use like that, and they use it, and how would we know?
Yeah.
So I think it's a thing where the people will have a hand in regulating some of this stuff. And as always, I feel like the government might just take it away and just use it.
Yeah, I maybe it's my general skepticism, because I'm always going like, okay, when I hear about deepfake technology being used to convince people, I find that interesting to convince to use for a surrender, because I think the equivalent of that for folks in the States is you got to use it to make a threat. And that's the only way they're actually going to believe it. Like if somebody deepfake Trump to say something, who the fuck is going to be that serious about it? You know what I mean? But if somebody like deepfaked some insert racist Muslim name terrorist and then broadcast that to Middle America,
I disagree with that, because How can you say that when the insurrection happened?
They saw him say that live. Is my point.
Yeah, but live, like we're all going on live. You know what I mean?
They saw the people who were at the insurrection.
Person.
They saw him in person.
Yeah.
But still, though, I mean, okay, what's the difference
Between seeing the video and seeing somebody standing and right in front of you?
Yeah, in this when we talking about like when we talking about inciting an audience in this day and age, what is a small difference to me. You don't think that a video that's posing to be the president will have some followers that can't tell and can excite a crowd?
I can see
I don't
that.
doubt that. I don't doubt that it's possible, just because people who are going to do that are looking for that.
Yeah, but if they're looking for that, that's an excuse to do it.
No, that's my point. Yeah, I'm agreeing with you that it's possible. I was trying to think of the equivalent of what it is, just because that's still. I don't know that making a plea for Americans to acquiesce is necessarily going to happen via deepfake technology, but they will react to threats. I was trying to think of the equivalent of if what they were saying what happened in Ukraine was they deepfaked their leader to acquiesce to their situation. I'm like, yeah, I don't know that the typical American, regardless of where they come from, is going to necessarily do that. But if you show them a threat, or you go to them and incite them with whoever the demagogue is that they're used to having incite them, yeah, that probably would work. So I wasn't saying that it wouldn't. I was saying like it would have to be different circumstances for it to work here.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I think you're estimating some people. Like
maybe. I mean, if somebody deep fake Al Sharpton and only spoke to people above the age of 65, it might work. But
I think that's the key, is the age thing. Because I think, for example, I saw that video, the Ukraine video, and I was like, okay, I was fake. Like the dude's head and the neck didn't even match. They weren't even, you know what I'm saying? There's an obvious, something going on there. But like I said, like maybe someone that's 70, they're not gonna, and I'm not saying older people are stupid, but
but
y'all assuming that technology is gonna remain based.
Yeah. Also, we know that it's gonna like you said, the technology is gonna improve. So
it's
in 10 years, it's gonna be way better. Just like.
And y'all gotta in tech. It's like, how fast do you see people scrolling? It's like nobody's hardly everybody is fact checking every video. It's like let's get to the next video.
That's true, actually. Yeah.
Yeah.
Look what I heard. I just saw blah 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 say this, and it's like, well, did you look into it? Do you know if it's real? No, you scrolling. That's what we do now.
I agree.
It's just like reacting, like quick reactions. Yeah.
But people who are quick reacting, are they really the people that are also going to get on a horse with a pitchfork and flame and go burn some shit down? Or are they just going to keep scrolling?
I think sometimes. I can't
imagine. Some of them got to be.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, if they're willing to quick react like that, then they're willing to. Who's to say they won't quick react with like anger or whatever, and then take it to another level.
How far is it going to go? Is my point.
So, okay, let me ask you a question. Do you think all of these protests, you feel like all of these people are honestly like down for the cause and there because they're well informed?
I don't.
No, I don't. I think most people, regardless of what side they're on, are moderately to
Are quick
barely
reacting.
informed.
Okay.
Exactly. So how do you think that they were? How do you think they became? Who put the battery in their back? Like, did it take? It didn't take a lot of education for a lot of people to be a part of a crowd. You know.
No, I agree, and I think the crowd part is the. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
A lot of people think Black Lives Matter or whatever the cause is, but they went along with it because they will look bad if they didn't, or they think that, and they don't have the information. And I'm just using that as an example, but
I think my point is it's the crowd part of it.
They
Sorry, it keeps breaking up, and that's why I accidentally interrupt you. My bad. Go ahead.
I just think that some people want to attach themselves to what they think is a righteous cause because of virtue signaling.
I don't disagree with that. I think virtue signaling is a big thing. I think people will attach themselves to a crowd. I don't necessarily know if they do it because they think it's a righteous cause. I think that may be a farce that they try to convince themselves of. I think people latch on to shit because of cattle mentality. And so if the crowd is big enough for them attached to, then they'll go with it. Not because and not because they're like, oh, I want to do research, or I want to find out more, or I want to be fully privy to the subject. I think on a lot of fronts, it usually is that. And so I'm not disagreeing with it. I'm saying if the crowd ain't big enough for that, and big is relative, because if you live in I don't know, Honkeyville, Vermont, with a population of 1,400 people, a crowd of 15 is large.
Yeah, I think we agreeing. I think we underestimate people want to confirm their bias. So they have in their head, if they believe this thing is right, they're searching for reasons or people to,
absolutely,
you know. So no matter how many people it is, they're gonna connect.
So what you're saying is we're underestimating how far even one individual may go, which has happened enough, you know, when we think of like the certain terrorist aspects. Yeah, even one individual can do a decent amount of damage, especially with the amount of artillery and stuff that we have nowadays.
Access to, yeah.
So you don't, but I feel you, like, I feel like for the most part, speaking specifically to the cattle mentality, like if they don't see enough people doing it, I don't know how far most folks will go. Like, I don't know how far, like to what lengths most folks will go if they're not, if it isn't already a crowd present. Yeah.
But like I feel like and I hate to keep saying the word government for some reason, but I feel like the moment something like say with gun laws, right? If things happen, like it could be 5 people or 1 people, but if it's bad enough and they feel like they have to do something, they'll make a change for 2 people doing something. You know what I mean? Like,
who are the 2 people? Who are the? Because there's been more than enough mass murder for some gun laws to change, but gun laws in California didn't change until the Black Panthers showed up at Oakland, and then they were like, "Oh no, too many niggas got guns. We need to fix this." So that's what I'm like. It depends on who the 2 people are, what the environment is. I assure you, if 35% of the Black population of the country went and got licensed firearms in their, let's say 35% of every state of their Black population got guns right now, that Second Amendment bullshit would be out the fucking door.
Okay, I will admit the gun example wasn't a good one. But in this, I believe in this situation, it's a new power. Like it's a new weapon. Any new weapons are going to be regulated. That's all I'm saying. Any new weapon is going to be regulated by them. Like if I made a super efficient rail gun or something like that, they're going to be knocking at my door.
Yeah.
I mean, if you go like broadcasting that you made it, yeah.
Yeah.
It's just, if it's just in your
If I be the
shed,
police knocking at your door,
it's just
or
in your shed, and
ATF.
you shooting it in the middle of the woods with no one present. No one's knocking at your door. If they are knocking at your door and you've never told a soul about it, that's alarming. But
yeah, assuming that we don't tell anybody, which is kind of rare.
Yeah.
Sure, that's what I mean by like it just. I think all these things are circumstantial, so I'm not trying to be a stickler about that.
Yeah, and if you need somebody to build you a cardboard prototype, I know a guy, a safe car. I know a guy. Yo, I'm just thinking like scamming is already like just in regards to scamming in general, it's already like pretty good, but specifically targeted with success to older generations. Like Adam said, like there's probably few people our age who would have been really pulled in by that deep fake. At least now. But in the future, it's gonna get crazy, dude. It's gonna get like just imagine how crazy scamming is gonna be. Jeez, man. Like and back to like older generations. How many? I guess this is more of a question. How many folks in maybe their 60s, 70s do you actually see on social media, even fairly active, that aren't in some sort of business or celebrity or like kind of requested to do that in their contract or whatever as a way of promoting?
Okay. On Facebook, you see a lot of on Facebook, you see a lot of older people.
Like 60s, 70s?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh, damn. Okay. I guess I'm not on enough. My bad.
That was kind of a big proponent of like during the whole 2016 election or whatever. The most misinformation got pushed through Facebook to older people. And so that was how it kept on getting perpetuated so hard, is because people don't read whole articles, they read headlines. And most headlines are just clickbait that don't even really say what the whole thing is. And so they would just put out these things with no kind of verification as to if it was true. And if you just read the thing and you go, oh my God, Trump said if he runs, he's going to run as a Republican because they're the dumbest motherfuckers in the world. And you go, all you got to do is just type that shit. Is this true? Every Google search will go, no, he didn't say that. But no one does step two. So
yeah. Well, I guess I must admit that wasn't the best example to use.
No.
but hey, I guess on a different thought too that just popped up. Just imagine a world where motherfuckers were just regular people. Use virtual reality, use the metaverse to go to national parks or something. That's that moment right there to like visit a national park.
Like, that's actually
like they choose that versus that's a moment where where I lead the resistance right then and there, man.
Well, sir, that's already a part of their like marketing. Hey, like you want to travel across seas and all of that stuff. Like you can
marketing to get you there, right? To actually bring
marketing to get you into Meta.
Oh, got you. Damn.
Is like they're like, oh, now you can see the beautiful Amazon by just throwing on your Oculus or whatever, and now you can actually like go and traverse the rainforest as opposed to get your ass on the get your money up so you can go take a trip. Like that's a big marketing thing. It's like we can eliminate the issues of travel and COVID is by doing it. Like no, that you're not really there. What are you talking about?
Yeah, man. And I guess I did not, to be fair, I didn't think about the folks who might be in circumstances where they can't afford or might don't see themselves affording certain things. I guess I should have considered that.
I
But
mean, that there's
damn, dude.
caveats. There's caveats like, if you can't afford that kind of trip, but you just want to be able to see what it actually is. Okay, sure. That market it to that person, market it to people who are disabled, who may not be able to make a 14-hour plane ride and all of that kind of stuff. Maybe they want, that's fine. But to treat it like the average person needs to just be doing this as opposed to trying to figure that the fuck out.
Yeah.
That's why we got motherfuckers that never leave their square block and have all of these hard ass opinions about shit, because you've never experienced any part of the world.
Yeah, it's like take your ass outside to the nearest woods, your nearest corner of the woods. All right, please, man, don't. Yeah, I don't know. That was just kind of my thought of like, I think about how many videos and stuff you see of people, like even like van life, for instance. You see folks like a lot of reason why I think it's popular or exciting to look at is because they tend to travel to and from a bunch of different national parks. But like, let's say just for the U.S. alone, that's kind of part of the excitement of like, what's their next journey? And I'm just like, just doing that virtually only would be such a loss, man. Yeah. Such a damn loss.
To speak on the van life thing.
Yeah, go ahead.
Because like for me, I've been interested in building the camper van. Honestly, more so just building that camper van seems more fun to be honest. But I've never wanted to live in a van. Like, and these people, they make it seem like it's like all your stresses of life goes away when you move into a van. I just can't believe that. Like, I don't want to shit in a van or the woods or wherever, or Planet Fitness or wherever these people are going.
You're right, bro. 100%.
Now, if I wanted to just take a cross country trip, yeah, that'd be cool. Like, but these people sell it like these. I've been living in the van for the last 4 years. I'm like, it never felt honest to me, and it felt like they're just kind of trying to sell this lifestyle for views, which can equate to money sometimes. So it's like, it's just, to me, it's always been dishonest, and then they're not telling the full story.
Yeah, it's just not. I don't think that's appealing. Like that, that's why they got to keep you up on the next trip or the next journey, the next whatever's like exciting. Because there's no way them cold ass nights that just and then you wake up the next morning, you have to wake up early because you got to spend an hour digging your van out or something.
You have such an unrealistic view of how it's supposed to be. Like, why aren't the birds chirping and amazing?
A lot of travel vloggers honestly do that, even the ones that don't do the van life thing. And like, as a person that's traveled, it's not always a beautiful sunshiny thing. Like, it's, in fact, if you do a big trip like that and you don't run into like a big issue, I would be surprised, because it's always going to be one thing. It's like, and they never share. Some people will share like the full story, but a lot of people just pick out. But you could say that about social media in general. It's people only showing you their highlights, of their life or whatever, or selfies. Like sometimes I'll stumble across somebody's page, something, and like 90% of the feed is literally just selfies. I'm like, how is this something that you want to do? Like, I'm gonna sit here and take a picture of myself every other day and post it. I'm like,
yeah, that's.
I won't judge. Like, somebody could see my feed and like, why do you do this? So, but
it is funny. Just a funny story on that. I got called out when I had a Tinder back in the day, right? That they were like, I had 4 pictures and they were all selfies, and they were like, "Yo, show us that you do something else." I was like, this makes sense. This is why I need to just delete this shit. It was a good point. It was at different places, like of nature, or like half of my face or something. Like, I realized that it was silly. One, I only had 4 fucking pictures, so they're like, "Who is this?"
I didn't think you on Twitter. I mean,
I'm gonna defend you on that one, because I'm not on Tinder before, obviously, but I feel like it's a little different, because from my understanding, there's one or two like goals being a user of Tinder. So I'm like, I'm not trying to like,
Really
this
show.
isn't
I'm not
the
trying to
harmony
bring you into
necessarily.
it all. I'm not trying to bring you into it all.
Exactly.
I don't want
Yeah.
you to part of my metaverse completely.
Tinder is such a interesting landscape of shit. Just because, I find it funny that you have 4 selfies and somebody was like, "Yo, show me you do something else." I'm like, "Yo, if I hear one more, it's so." I almost said bitch, and I know I'm a straight dude, and people are gonna misinterpret that. I call everybody bitch. So
I was about to say, Adam, go ahead and edit out my laughing.
If I see one more thing, it's so many like traps and tropes where I'm like, do you think that's a personality? If like I probably like your dog more than you. I like tacos. I'm looking for a workout buddy. Oh my God, are you a person? What do you care about?
Yeah.
One more. If I see one more thing, talk about I hate small talk. And meanwhile, when my nigga ass goes, all right, so what are your passions? And you don't say anything at all. What are we doing here? Now I'm saying this is somebody who's not really on it like that, but this has just been my experience over the years. It's so stupid.
You're right.
I agree, man. I agree. Anytime I ever went on them type of sites, is like they saying stuff like that, like they want to be engaged in a conversation and want to be able to talk to somebody, blah blah. Say something along those lines, and then not be able to even carry a conversation. It's like,
yes, dog. Yes, it's like you promote yourself as somebody who wants genuine conversations. You're like, I actually want a connection, and then when you talk to them like somebody who also would like a connection, it's like, don't reach out to me and say, "Hey, how you doing?" It's like that. Oh, all right,
it's so weird.
Okay, now, all right.
Now we're saying this in our little experience before this turns into another alpha male podcast. But it's really that thing of like, I don't know what this. I don't know how to initiate this thing, or what it is a person is necessarily looking for, because all the no hookups and all that kind of stuff where you're like, oh my God, everybody on, I don't know what to write in the profile. So, or people who go, just ask me. And I'm like, you realize we got a match for me to be able to ask you any questions, right? So that's not a useful tip if you swipe left. Like I don't get what we're doing here. What is this?
You just want to be entertained. I got to hit you with the perfect line to like spark any kind of conversation. And then you can say, oh, hey, how you doing? How was your day? Blah, blah, blah. But that you got to hit them with that initial like catchy ass line or something, man.
I mean, I can hit you with one of my old pickup lines, what fucks like a tiger and winks? Wink.
Yes.
Like,
yeah.
So for me, like, just listening to y'all and just analyzing what I know about society, it kind of seems like people are on there and they're trying to be polite, or not polite, but they're trying to be approachable, but what you're saying is they're actually not approachable. So it seems like people is like, yeah, I'm approachable if you look like insert, super hot person. And it makes me think of this article I read years ago. But there's this lady, I think she lived in London, and she was doing this experiment where like every guy that approached her, like she gave a chance, like she like didn't shut him down immediately. And at the end of it, the only person that she gave her number to was the guy that she found hot. So I'm like, and that's her prerogative. I'm not saying you got to give your number out to everybody, but it just seems like. It just seems like if you don't, and I'm not saying that these people should be giving everybody their number or a chance if they don't feel like they want to give the person a chance, but just say that. Just be upfront. Don't make it seem like I'm just out here, giving everybody a chance, and that's not.
That's not,
I
that's
don't know,
not what's
I feel
happening.
like I'm not worried. I'm not wording this right. But
I think what you're saying is people kind of grandstand, and they because I'm not gonna act like dudes don't do this too. I can't speak for everybody's experience. So this has been my experience on dating sites that I'm pretty sure are not pushing my shit. Or I would be. Like I said, I ain't been on the motherfucker in a minute. But at the time I was like, do I gotta pay for this shit? Because I know I swiped right on about 20 chicks yesterday. And I ain't got one match. I ain't ugly. I ain't fine as shit, but I know I ain't. What the fuck is this? And so, but you go, okay, wait a minute. You're saying these things that are like, oh, I want someone to try to have some kind of depth of conversation with me and all of that kind of stuff. But to start the conversation, some trivial small talk has to happen, because I'm going to say, hey, how are you? How was your week? All that kind of stuff. So don't be like, don't say, hey, how are you to me? That's weird. Who the fuck does that? Yeah. But if I start the conversation by going, oh, tell me about your relationship with your father, you're like, what the fuck is wrong with you? That's a weird way to start this conversation. Yes, I agree it's a weird way to start this conversation, but you did that.
This is what it comes down to now. Yeah, this is what it comes down to. Hey, really quick, I want to say something, and then I felt like Marcus was gonna say something to what Adam said. I think
oh shit, I ain't not here.
Your face looked like you were gonna like say something that sounded interesting.
The look on your face.
Yeah.
I lost it if I was going to say something. Go ahead.
Oh, okay. Well, I was gonna say I did match with one lovely lady back in the day, and her profile was pretty straightforward. She said, "I'm looking for somebody." Now I'm speaking. I'm paraphrasing. She said, "I'm looking for a motherfucker who considers himself to be a king." I think she said king pussy eater. No joke. I was like, how many times could I swipe right? It's not something I'm doing the first date.
Have you ever
I could definitely work my my way to it for sure. I just appreciate the straightforwardness. You like, this is what I'm looking for.
You said what?
I said, would you accept the prince? Not me. I'm not saying me. Want no trouble.
I just appreciate her being so straightforward.
I was going to ask Aaron, was that like a title that you had considered before?
Nah. Nah, man, I can't say, but I was up for the challenge. That's for sure. Up for the challenge, and that's not something that I'm just doing willy-nilly because I didn't know her, but I'm willing to work my way to that with somebody for sure. I'm willing to work my way.
Would that challenge be like a tournament, like to see
a Mortal Kombat tournament? I just fucking start drawing like different characters on my tongue or something. Yeah.
Right.
And I get up like this, and I'm like, fatality. Pop my collar real quick.
Oh man, that'd be fucking. I do one of those kind of like. I want to believe in the nuance of like every dig, every vag, every whatever is different, and so you're like, oh, because you actually have this kind of competition, but then I go like, oh man, some dudes like quiet, minimal head. I'm not one of them. But
let me make this very clear.
Not very clear. Look, if it does not look like fucking chaos and mayhem at the end of this, you didn't do it right.
Yeah, dog. Certain visuals and certain sounds and shit, you just can't get in the metaverse, man. You can't.
Well, and it's the same thing with pussy. Like, some people like, I don't like all that direct contact. I need you to, like, for all intents and purposes, beat around the bush. And so you can't be like, oh, it's a pussy eating competition with no context as to what this chick likes. There's got to be like prerequisites like, hey, this girl only likes alphabet on the taint, but nothing close to the clitoral stimulation. This chick,
True.
purely, she needs you to suck the chrome off of this ball bearing.
If you the king, you find that.
You said you the king. You
That's
can
true.
find.
That's true. She was pretty open about discussing what she liked for sure. So
Hey, also you did match her.
oh yeah, for sure.
Oh,
Yeah,
nice.
yeah. Because honestly,
sure.
and that only came because I did pay for it at one point, and like it allows you to see who liked you. You know, you can
Already.
match quicker. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So she liked you first.
Correct.
Oh, so you was in there. You
Correct. I mean, you know, she was willing to, you know, try it on for size. I guess take it for a spin. take it for a spin back in the day. I just really appreciated how straight she was. I was like, all right, you're not giving me no bullshit tagline. You're not. This is all you're expecting right here so far. That's enough for a conversation for me. You know,
I mean, that's why I appreciated, like, even though I think the platform isn't all that great, that's why I appreciated apps like Field, which is like I think I told y'all about this on here before. It used to be called Thrinder because it was a dating thing for group sex. It was a dating app for group sex. It's called Field and all that kind of stuff. So people are on
let's
there.
discuss
You know,
this more. You know, post production.
oh yeah, most definitely. But essentially, people on there, like, everybody's clear. You're there for this thing. You can say, you know, it's a step down from FetLife. FetLife is like way more out there. If you don't know about FetLife is a website. It's not an app. That is very much like, oh, are you a big dom masochist? You're like, okay, cool. I get to look for people who are specifically for that thing. Like if you got all the things that have to do with whatever your kinks are, whatever your preferences are, yada yada yada. But Field is like, everybody, if you on there in a couple, let's say, they're like, oh, this person is a 35-year-old androgynous male, and then if they're writing the thing, they're like, oh, I'm this part of the couple, we're looking for somebody to join, we play separately. They say what it is that they about. We want to go out to dinner so we can get to know each other first. No one night stands, no, like, everybody's clear. There's no, oh, you know, I don't really want to do that. And meanwhile, if you attractive enough, they're like, I will beat your box in for
beat it out the frame.
So you're like, so it's not necessarily that. But that always kind of kills me. And so I can get that. That has not been my experience at all with people on the with swiping and all of that. People being real straightforward about it. It's rare.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I should be clear. That was only one person that I experienced that with. So
with the subscription, you got the monthly subscription, right?
At one point,
I
had at one
okay.
point, yeah.
So that I'm saying the one, even with that,
with that, right?
It paid for at least that month. It made that month worth it.
Made that month worth, because that's the other side. That's the other side of it. If I'm not mistaken, is like, if you don't pay for
my
it,
buck. All right, I had to get that out there. I'm sorry. Sorry to interrupt, man. I'm sorry.
No, you good. If you pay for it, they tell you they tell you people who liked you already if they did. But if you don't pay for it, they don't make it any kind of priority to put those people who liked you in front of you.
Exactly. It's sheer,
so, like they'll just be they'll tell you like, oh yeah, 3 people liked you. Don't you want to find out who they are so they can try to convince you to pay for it? But they're not gonna put them in front of you.
Exactly.
They don't make it a point to do that, to make sure that you get the opportunity to swipe on them regardless.
They just trying to tell you that it could work.
Right.
Yeah. But you got to pay to find. Yeah. So essentially, they're trying to get you to pay because they know that people would do quite a bit to get that pleasurable release.
Exactly. Well,
exactly, dog.
It's not even assured. For the
That's true.
Yeah.
Well, all I know
Then
is
I'm
my,
like, hey,
is
pay
my
us this-
4 selfies was enough for homegirl. That's all I know. That's all I know.
She saw that. She saw that chin, and she was like,
Yeah, man.
"That's it."
Yes, sir. the crimson chin. Let's get it.
All right, we can wrap it up there. Thanks, y'all. Thank you for joining us for another episode of the InforMILLy Honest Podcast. By all means, if you want to write in, you can always hit us on InforMILLy Honest Podcast at gmail.com. InforMILLy Honest on all social media platforms except Twitter, which is InforMILLy_HP. And by all means, like, share, subscribe, rate, and review on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. Fellas, you got anything you want to say before we sign off?
It's good to be back. For me, it's good to be back.
Me too.
And thanks for
Welcome
listening.
back. Welcome back. Welcome back.
Always feels good, man.
Shout out to Mace.
Shout out to me. Oh, that wasn't my song, was it? I couldn't remember. I thought it was what was the non-song with the children?
I know I can. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Work. All right. Appreciate y'all. We love you. And by all means, share with somebody, just tell them, hey, do you like to listen to four dudes who aren't douchebags? Check this out.
Right.
I know there's a whole lot of podcasts out there, as I made a joke toward, of just being out here talking about these fucking females. Yeah, we're not those guys.
Yeah.
we're not. What'd you say?
Joe Rogan. Joe Rogan helped us. So I just wanted to say that. Joe Rogan.
Oh, Joe Rogan did give us a spike in all our numbers, so shout out to
California Joe.
shout out before your show. They went right back down after that, but that episode.
Yo, this will be a snippet. Let's do it.
Appreciate the bots. All right, y'all. Every conversation you have, every connection you make, and every person that you love, appreciate, and want to engage with, we always encourage you to be forthright, vulnerable, and most of motherfucking all, as always, be honest. It's not a W, it's an H.
Oh, I thought that was the Wu-Tang.
No. That's
I was doing Star Wars. You were doing.
I'm trying to get my lower arms in there. So.
Nice.
Without shedding a tear for my brother. I really wanna try for my brother. 'Cause I truly do feel for my brother.